It's time for another Let's Talk Toku, and oh boy, is there a bunch to talk about. Let's Talk Toku. Hey everyone, it's Nick, and yeah, I know this may seem a bit soon, seeing how it takes a lot longer to make Let's Talk Tokus in between each other, seeing how it takes like about 2 or 3 weeks to make a Let's Talk Toku. Well, it doesn't take me that amount of time to make one, just like in between each other. This one is coming out, I think, like 2 or 3 days after the last one, so it may seem a bit soon, but that's not important. Let's just get into the news. Let's start off with something Kamen Rider build related, as new toy catalog scans have revealed not one, but 2 new roleplay items, the DX Full Rabbit Tank Bottle and the DX Full Bottle Buster. The former will allow build to switch from 2 different forms, Rabbit and Tank, while the Full Bottle Buster will be able to hold multiple full bottles at a time. Yeah, there's not really much to talk about here, but I can't wait until they come out because, I don't know. Let's move on from something kid-friendly to something that's definitely not for kids with Kamen Rider Amazons. The Amazon Riders will be getting their own movie titled Kamen Rider Amazons Final Version. This movie will mark the end of the Amazons timeline, and a teaser for it was revealed after the end credits of Heisei Generation's Final. Yeah, you don't need a PhD to know that that's out of place, considering Heisei Generation's Final is a kids' movie, and Amazons is something that is not for kids, so it seems really out of place if you ask me. Next up, we have something in terms of toy news. A Complete Selection Modification OS driver has been released. To those who are unaware, Complete Selection Modification, or CSM for short, are re-releases of Kamen Rider roleplay items, with glossy finishes, molded details, and new sounds. Now these are not toys for kids, but they are rather collector's items. And because they're collector's items, they seem to be a bit on the pricey side. Now we have a Complete Selection Modification OS driver. It has not been released yet, but it has been announced, and a few images have been released, so feel free to check them out yourself. Okay, now to get to the main reason you clicked on this video. Patoranger versus Lupinranger. And you know how in a previous video I said the suits just look okay? Well, that's basically all I feel about them. They just look okay. Nothing about... The show hasn't been released yet, so how can I properly judge them? Well, yeah, the suits do look pretty good. The Lupinranger suits look like the Time Ranger suits on steroids. And for some reason, the Patoranger suits remind me a lot of Sport Ranger for some reason. Sport Ranger, you know, that obscure toku from Indonesia or whatever? I don't know, do some research. The collectible gimmick will be called Versus Vehicles, which I'm assuming are a lot like the Rushas from Tokuger, meaning the teams can use them to transform, and they can also be used as Zords. Yeah, I know they're called something different in Japan, but I'm calling them Zords. Deal with it. That's pretty much all I can say, as I can't think of anything else to say, so I'm going to direct you to Henshin Pulse's video on the subject in the link in the description. Not only because he has more information on the subject, but because he explains the subject a lot better than I can ever could. I think that'll do it for this Let's Talk Toku, so in the comments below, remind me your thoughts on all the stuff that was covered in this video, and feel free to leave me some suggestions for future Let's Talk Tokus. Okay, that's gonna do it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and of course, as always, until next time, see ya.